Welcome back. Another episode of MoJoe Sports. And this week we have a Super Bowl recap for you. Just got the big game last night, and now we dive into it. But first, Joe, how was the weekend? Tell me, what was the best food you had where you watched the game?
Yeah, we went with my wife's grandpa's Italian beef recipe. So some nice Italian beef sandwiches. That was the highlight. Yeah, good Super Bowl. A
Was it
pretty
a
chill.
party setting?
No, we were just chilling this weekend. We got a busy couple months. It was a get right Sunday. A get right Sunday, just chilling on the couch. My neighbor's pool pump's going off. I told you that. That's been the low light of the weekend.
Yeah, dive into that for me real quick. The viewers are dying to know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing else. It's just really really fucking loud.
Have you filed a claim?
Yeah, multiple claims. The police say, on the non-emergency line, that they can't really do much for me. So, I called
Did you
and they
call
said,
ICE?
yeah, I called and they're like, hey, we actually have a 911 call on the other line, a murder. Can you hold on? And then I came back on the line and I was like, hey, my neighbor's pool pump's crazy loud. Like, I think that might take way more precedent over whatever you were just dealing with on the other line. So you
It's
could send
murdering
somebody
my
out.
eardrums right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. No, it's driving me nuts. I do I go over there like that? That's the weird neighbor thing. It's like, do I just go knock on the door and be like, hey, are you guys okay? Are you guys deaf?
Wellness check. What do
Yeah.
these neighbors look like? What's the demographic?
No idea. No clue. It's behind us, so I've never
Could
met
be
them
drug
before.
dealers. They could be cartel for all we know.
The cop said don't go over there. So I'm
Yeah,
heeding, but
that's a clear sign.
yeah.
Cartel.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I might just I don't want to say anything incriminating on here, spoil my plans, but I might just get a bunch of leaves from my yard and dump it over the wall in the pool so the pool pump, clogs, blows up. I'm running out of
Yeah, that
options.
that should quiet it down, right?
Yeah.
And jam some leaves in it.
If there's any lawyers out there, know how to help me. It's a pretty hefty suit. I can't pay anything, but
We had a special guest, Connor Helvig, on. He's a public defense attorney, I believe.
oh,
So
does he deal with
call him
noise
up.
complaints?
Yeah, that and definitely some worse things.
Yeah.
You'll be one of
That'll
the
probably be the
easier
highlight of his
cases.
week. A
Yeah,
neighborly noise dispute.
he would love to work on you. Well, besides your loud pool pump, we did have the Super Bowl this week, and it was electric, man. From all the theatrics, beginning to end, opening ceremony, the national anthem, all the way through the end of the game. Did a great job of feeling like the Super Bowl, I thought. Game might not have been great, and we'll dive into the full game later. We're going to make you wait for that one. But as far as the whole thing in general, I thought it was a success. A great weekend.
Yep. Yeah, great weather, it's nice to see some nice Cali weather there, and I liked it. Yeah, it was a fun Super Bowl. The commercials were not good. I don't know what's happened to the commercials, but I was not a fan. I think I liked maybe 2 or 3 out of the 50 that we saw. That used to be like a semi highlight, It's like, oh, you can not mute the commercials this time. I'm gonna watch them, but I thought they were all kind of ass. It looked like it was just me and like Sora making, commercials, and they paid these marketing execs millions of dollars to do this.
Lots of money. Yeah, I didn't actually get to watch any of the commercials, Joe. So, what was the highlight of the commercial scene?
I thought the best commercial was the Bud Light or the Budweiser. They always nail it. You throw a Clydesdale on there, I'm gonna get fired up. But this year was good. The Clydesdale like nursed a baby eagle back to health, like a little baby eagle. They grew up together. It was like a young horse and a young eagle, and then they grew up together. And then just at the end, it was majestic eagle riding on the back of a huge Clydesdale. And then they cut to the stadium, and there was a real horse and a real eagle on its back. So that was pretty sick.
True story, based on true events.
Yeah, but the worst one I thought it was Svedka, the vodka company.
Very familiar.
Yeah, I mean, just a fucking terrible commercial. It was like 2 robots. I mean, I wanted to break my TV after that one. That's like a commercial you get at like 3 a.m. watching, Nick at Night or something. Like, it was a terrible fucking commercial.
What were the robots doing?
Drink partying, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Oh, they were getting faded.
The guy drank some of the vodka, but then it just came out the bottom of his neck. Like, it was just,
Tough scenes from Shvedka.
yeah, yeah, bad. Yeah, you didn't watch any commercials on it. So what about halftime show? You didn't see that either then?
I did see the halftime show, and
The Turning Point one, right?
I'm not sure what your thought. I had both going same time. I did a mashup. Yeah, no, I like the halftime show. I
I did
watched the
too.
real halftime show. I did not use my energy to switch the channel and go figure out what streaming service I needed for some alternate halftime show that was probably getting a fifth of the budget if we're being generous. So, yeah, I watched the Super Bowl halftime show. I thought it was great. I was
Yeah,
actually surprised. It was better than I thought it was going to be. A little disappointed he didn't wear a dress. I thought we were promised he was wearing a dress and he was going to be like making out with dudes. But instead, he came out. He looked like a baller. He was just grinding on big booty Latinas. Jessica Alba was out there and seemed like he was telling a story throughout the whole thing, which I thought was cool. It seemed very theatrical.
yeah. It was like a Broadway show. Yeah, it was entertaining. I liked it. Good energy. We got a little Lady Gaga in there. That was fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was. I thought Cardi B was gonna pop off for a little bit, but she didn't. She was there.
I figured it was way too much to ask of her. She's already like sweating the Super Bowl, like your husband's playing in the biggest game of his life. Like, why would you want to add on the pressure?
No,
Probably
she
should have
doesn't.
bet
You
the
think
no.
she cares about that game?
Well, they broke up immediately. Actually, not even immediately after the game. They broke up during the game, per reports. Apparently, she was sitting in a box suite, and Stefon Diggs' baby mama was sitting front row. And Cardi B found out about this mid game, wasn't too happy about it. Sounds like she left during the game. And afterwards, they unfollow each other on Instagram. And now the hottest couple in sports and pop culture split up overnight.
The American tragedy. Nobody saw that one coming.
No, no. I remember the Vikings posted a video a few years ago. They went around the locker room. They would hand a little handheld microphone to each guy. They would say, "Who is the person on the team you would least want your daughter to date?" And I don't think a single player on
Uh,
the entire 53-man roster said a name besides Stephon Diggs.
yeah,
They all said, "I would not let my daughter date this man." And yeah, just like you said, I don't think anybody saw it coming.
there was no signs either. Not like him on a boat with a bunch of ladies and Tusi in the sun. Like there was just no. This was out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, couldn't have happened to a better guy, just someone that you hate to see when they get blindsided by this. Besides that, though, we'll dive into the actual game of the Super Bowl in a little bit. But first off, let's just hit the rest of the sports real quick. And I'm going to start off with Olympics. So this week, we kick off the official Winter Olympics in Milan. And we're going to get a lot of skiing, a lot of figure skating, some bobsledding, which I know the boys are hyped about. But then we also get some pretty dangerous sports. I mean, I'm watching some of these. I'm going, whoa. I make fun of the Summer Olympics. Power walking, every time it comes on, I go, I could have been grand champ. I could
No,
have been gold medal.
I would smash you in power walking. I'm the fastest power walker. I genuinely think I could make it to the Olympics.
25 grand to win a gold medal. That's what they
I,
said.
I don't have the cardio for it, but in like
What?
a dead meter, 400-meter sprint, I think I could do it.
Those guys are like 45 years old. That's like the peak age for power walking.
They walk a mile faster than I run, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. It would be a tough scene to be out next to those guys.
Yeah,
You running a mile, they're power walking, they're passing you up. That would be tough to watch.
yeah. But no, I agree that you get the downhill ski. They're going 75 miles an hour. Like,
That's the worst one.
yeah, I skied pretty much my whole life, and You know, I'm a medium skier. I can get down the hill fine, but anything in that realm is just unthinkable to me. Because even when I get going a little bit, I like speed. I used to go off jumps, but I mean, holy shit, they're flying.
Yeah, I was hitting pizzas, pizza, French fry. I was hitting pizzas the whole time I skied. And I was watching the guys do this event and they're getting up into like 90, 95 miles per hour.
It's insane.
And then the biggest news to come out of the downhill ski was obviously Lindsey Vonn. A couple weeks ago, she tears her ACL. Olympic hopes in jeopardy, likely her last Olympics. And it came out after she tore the ACL. She's like, hey, I'm still going to do this thing. Like, I'm a warrior. We're going. And then I didn't get to see it live. I watched the replay, though. NBC, for whatever reason, re aired it and I was watching live, finally gets to her run. I already knew the result, but she gets going. She's probably like 30 seconds in. And then she goes off a tiny jump, hits some kind of flag, and just her whole body spins out of control, lands on the ground. And we get reports today that she suffered like a broken tibia, I believe, but they air vac her, brought her on a helicopter, lifted her out of there, and the whole crowd was silent. It was kind of crazy to like see that many people there and just not talking, but likely a career ender. And I gotta say, when I was watching her, even when she started, I was like, this feels like something you need an ACL to do.
Yeah, yeah, and she was skiing on like one leg. Yeah, that was a tough scene. And I watched the Rio too. The sport that got me going, I think, was the biathlon. That's the one where they ski and then they shoot.
Sure.
Um, I don't know if the announcers were just lying to our face, but they said in Europe it's the highest TV ratings like out of any sport in the wintertime. So people over there just love it. The announcers kept hyping it up. They said it was the NASCAR of Europe, essentially, which I thought was F1, but you know, they told me on TV that it was the highest rating, and I kind of get it. The one issue I have is they don't show the targets ever. They just show a bunch of guys standing in line to shoot at something, and then you don't get to see them at the target. I know you can't really zoom in on a 22 bullet hitting a target, but I'd like to see some metal hit some metal. I think that would enhance
Something.
the broadcast. So I was in, and then I watched a target about 5 times, and then I was out because all you got to do, it's like watching darts, but you never get to see the dart hit the board.
And were you watching men's or women's?
It was a co event. They went men, women, men, women. It's like a relay race.
Mm. How'd we do?
USA is terrible. USA is no good. Yeah, we were in not last, but we were apparently it's not our sport. So anybody out there looking for a chance to make the Olympics, I think there's possibilities there. You got some openings.
Yeah, we need John Wick to enter ASAP. Who was the dominant country in this?
It's like France, Italy, and Norway, I think. I think France and Norway are like the two that have been trading back and forth. And apparently they just run the international circuit too.
It's just crazy because historically, war wise, I mean,
I
we're
know.
not talking
Yeah.
about Goliaths.
Yeah, but they, it's a pretty specific war set skiing around and standing like I don't know, yeah. But I feel like the USA's got a chance to make up some ground there. You'd think at any country we'd be all right at that one.
Yeah, well, come Summer Olympics, the drone strike, we will take gold.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It has become our best Olympic sport. Joe, anything else from the Olympics before we move on? Go USA.
No, yeah, go USA. I was watching a little bit of the ice skating. Apparently, the USA we got a dog in that one. This young dude, blonde haired guy. He killed it. He got in the 200s. I have no idea how the scoring works, but nobody even touched 200s.
Is he the guy they call the thigh god? I saw somebody say thigh god.
Quad God.
Quad god, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it has nothing to do with his quads. It's because he hits a bunch of spinning quads.
I was gonna say this guy doesn't look that big. Kind
No,
of looks feminine, if you ask
yeah,
me.
no, yeah. It's all about the. He's the only one apparently in the sport that can hit a quad spin in the air. Is what the announcers were. They said it about 500 times, and the way they were talking about this guy, I mean, he might be the LeBron of ice skating because apparently he's the goat.
And he hit it, right?
Yeah, gold, gold.
Wow. Well, I expect the US to win. That's always the expectation. So if they
Yeah.
don't, then we failed. And if we do win, then yeah, that's what we were supposed to do. No celebration needed. This is just business as usual. Were there any cheating scandals this year? I know that's
Oh yeah.
in the Olympics in the past. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah, we got a good one. The big ski jump, the one where they go flying through the air. Apparently, any little extra fabric on your suit gives you some more lift
Uh,
and gives you more distance. So guys were injecting substances into their penises in order to enlarge the suit during fitting. So that's pretty electric. You know, you can't put anything past these guys when it comes to the extra inch.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
There is the penis getting bigger?
That's what the yeah. I was curious about, you know, recreational use for something like that. Not for me,
Yeah.
but just for, you know, other people out there.
I
But
got a
I
big bobsled rec league tournament coming up.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't that's a I don't know who discovered that one, but it's crazy.
Yeah, they're calling it Crotchgate. So be on the lookout. If you want to look at that story, Crotchgate is your hashtag. Uh, Outside of that, we got UFC this weekend. Not an amazing card. Pretty pretty much a snooze fest, if I'm gonna be honest, Joe. Uh, Good fights on the undercard, but a lot of guys that you wouldn't know about. And then in the main card, I'll tell you what, man, these heavyweights, they're pissing me off. These heavyweights, they go in there and they're both, you see it a lot nowadays in UFC, but they're so afraid to let it fly because they also know one punch is going to put me to sleep. So we're seeing a lot more of these go to decisions. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like it. If you want to be the guy, you just got to let it all hang out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, take a note from the ski jumpers and just let it hang.
Yeah. So we had a very boring heavyweight fight, went to a decision. And after that, we had some little guys scrap it out, quick finish. And then the main event, also no big names in this one, but another quick finish, second round. And yeah, UFC might be back, but this was not their card to shine. I'm going to
No,
say that.
fair enough.
I
What's
will say I did take Trump to not go to UFC 237 on Kalshi. That was a bet
oh
of mine.
nice.
So look out for that one. Have no clue if the odds have gone up or down. I'm just hoping he's got a lot of shit he's got to deal with in the world right now that he just doesn't have time
You just
to go to these UFC events. So I'm just fading. I'm taking the nose on like every event
I
until the
like
White
that.
House. Speaking of which, I hit two Kalshi bets. I put two prediction market bets in for the Super Bowl, hit them both. Number one, I said Taylor Swift will not be at the Super Bowl. For whatever reason, people thought she was going to go a couple months ago. I said the Chiefs are definitely not making it. I don't know why she's going to be there anyways. So I took the no. And then the other one, I got a little sharp tip. Somebody said, hey, Pregunto is going to be number one played song, first song for Bad Bunny, which it was. So we make cash.
You're sharp. You had a good Super Bowl.
Had a good Super Bowl, and we'll get into it later. But yeah, I came out of the Super Bowl and I was like, wow, this normally doesn't happen to a guy like me. Outside of that, though, we got college basketball. College basketball is heating up fast. So, actually, right now, while we're talking, I've got Kansas, Arizona up on the TV. Kansas looking to upset Arizona. They don't even have their best player, Darren Peterson, tonight. Likely the number one pick in the NBA draft this year. And they're still going to beat them. So, the madness is starting early this year.
What's the score?
Right now, I've got 77 Kansas, 71 Arizona. Looks like about a minute left, minute and a half, maybe.
Let's go. Yeah, you were on Arizona like a dumbass. I was on Kansas, so hopefully score one for the good guys.
Mhm. This is only going to allow me to get a better future in because Arizona right now, top of the board as far as rankings and odds to win the national championship. So I'm
Yeah,
looking
I
to
was
get a
gonna.
little value.
You got who do you got to win it? You got Arizona. Way
Yeah,
too early March Madness pick.
yeah, Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah, I'm
Also
going.
like Houston.
I'm going Michigan. I'm going Michigan. I do like Houston though. It could be Houston. Could be Houston. But I
I
think
think
I like
Michigan's
Michigan.
probably the best team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
hoping they choke. I can't root for Michigan when we get into these national championship scenarios for any sport.
Did you see the speaking of not good college basketball, did you see the UNLV meltdown last week?
Joe, unfortunately, I did.
Yeah. That was for those that didn't see it, the UNLV playing Fresno State. UNLV is not having, a great year, but playing Fresno State go to overtime. They're up 7 with 7 seconds left on the clock. No, up 5 with 7 seconds left on the clock. Fresno State goes on a 7-0 run with 5 seconds left, and we lose the game. So just not good. I haven't really watched much. I can't pretend I have. Anytime we're not even in tournament contention, basically we just got to win the Mountain West tournament to have any sort of hope to get in. But it's been a while. I don't think I've ever seen UNLV in the tournament since we went there, which is crazy.
Yeah, the year before we got there, it was Anthony Bennett got drafted #1 overall, biggest bust in NBA history, and they went to the tournament that year. And I agree with you. I'm pretty sure we haven't been back.
Depressing.
But all we gotta do is win that Mountain West tournament. That's all it takes,
Yeah.
baby. Come on now. Come on. Also, Mountain West news, North Dakota State joining the Mountain West for football. Huge news. And I told you in the group chat, but they just want to be Boise so bad. That's all they
Yeah.
want to be. They want to be that small town school that's just a factory. What's your concern level with them joining the conference?
Relatively high. I think they've already got a good program now. If they can recruit guys to the Big Sky, I think they're going to be able to recruit guys to the Mountain West. It gives you a little bit more exposure. There is a chance that you can go to the college football playoff playing in the Mountain West. We've seen it this year. There's 2 group of 5 teams. So you run the table in the Mountain West, which is not, even as strong of a conference as it was last year. You lose Boise, you lose a bunch of those California schools. So I am concerned. I still think UNLV can run the table, especially these first couple years while they kind of, integrate, and then hopefully by that time we jump to the Big 12 or some shit like that.
Would be nice. At least the pack at
Yeah,
worst, right?
yeah,
But we'll see. I'm definitely concerned about them as well. I mean, they've been a powerhouse. They've beaten multiple Power Five schools, even. So at this point, we'll see. But it might just be UNLV versus the Bison every year for the championship. And I
yeah.
wouldn't hate that.
No, it'll be fun. I think they're a fun addition. I really do. I think it enhances the conference, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And especially after we lost, 4 schools to the pack, at least 4, the conference was looking a little light. People were saying, hey,
Yeah,
UNLV is going to walk away with this one every single year,
yeah.
it feels like. Joe, if you don't have any other sports to hit on, I'm going to hit on one football story and dive into the Super Bowl.
Let's do it.
So, the story I want to talk about is we had a defensive end, James Pierce Jr. He was involved in a car chase with the police and ends up getting arrested. We're getting domestic violence. Yeah, he basically arrested on Saturday, Florida, on charges including 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated stalking, and fleeing slash eluding police. This was in Florida. Not a good look if you're a rookie, I would say.
Yeah, not great.
Not great.
Jail?
Yeah, likely going to jail. And I think the most surprising part of the story is that he has a famous girlfriend. His
Mm,
girlfriend that he allegedly was stalking and may have gotten physical with yet. I don't want to put out any allegations. We'll wait till everything comes out. But he dates WNBA player Rakia Jackson,
mm.
who is actually a good WNBA player, not just a role player, but a very solid all star. And yeah, I mean, this is just a quick way. The Falcons traded up for James Pierce Jr. in the draft. And the reason why he was falling in the first place, going into college football last year, he was projected to be a top 3 pick. And all of a sudden, now you can get him later in the draft, maybe like mid teens. And the reason was character concerns. We got personal issues. We got some things we're hearing out of his coaching staff. It says this guy might not be a great guy. He might not
Well,
be committed to football.
they were they nailed it. They nailed that one.
Yeah, hit the nail on the head just as he did. And now, yeah, likely you're going to ruin your career, right, Joe? I mean, this
Yeah.
is how do you come back from that?
Well, it's the NFL, so for sure, probably be back.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson will probably be the Browns starting
Yeah.
quarterback next year. So, what are we talking about?
I think there's about 20 cases and about 5 videos in elevators that we could point to and say, "Hey, that might not be the end."
Yeah, I think Jeffrey Epstein might even be the Jets quarterback week 1.
Yeah.
I heard he's pretty friendly with the owner. Um, but then after that, we get the Super Bowl. Seahawks, they are our Super Bowl champions. 29-13. Joe is wearing the Seahawks polo. Not sure where he got that from. To be honest, I've never asked you, do you have an NFL team? Are you a
No, I
fan?
don't. I'm a freeloader. Shout out my boy Trevor. He's works for the team's equipment manager for the team. Been with
Oh,
him
it's
for a long
badass.
time, so got himself a ring. And I went and visited him a little while ago in Seattle, and he took us around the facility and gave me some sweet gear. So I rock it any chance I get, and felt like a good day to throw the polo on. So I'm from Washington, but I'm not a huge Seahawks fan. I'm a fan of the league. I'm happy to see him. I really didn't like Pete Carroll. I've always kind of hated Pete Carroll ever since USC when he kind of left Reggie Bush to hang, and he just bounced after all the allegations and cheating. So I kind of vowed off the Seahawks, but I'm back in now a little bit. I think I'm a fan. Cooper Cup from like 3 hours from where I'm from. So yeah, I
Yeah.
just overall it was nice. I was rooting for them versus the Patriots because I don't give a fuck about the Patriots.
Patriots look like shit. I
Yeah,
mean, if you're a Drake May guy, tough to defend today because
yeah.
his playoff numbers, the worst historically that we've ever seen through a playoff run. And then Will Campbell, left tackle, got a ton of heat. Dude,
It's dull.
most pressures ever allowed by a single player this whole season in any individual game. I saw this quote, which is just insane, but it said they had a tell on when there would be pass plays, and they were basing it off Will Campbell. And basically, they said anytime he came up to the line and he was shaking, they knew it was a pass, which is just, if that is true, that's just terrible. I mean, you're that nervous that you're just like panicking before the play even starts. You're like, I'm about to give up a sack.
Yeah, they paid him a lot of money too, and that the press conference of him talking about you give up one sack, you're driving for Amazon.
Oh,
That's an all time clip now. Their O line and specifically him, but their O line was just getting murdered. I mean, they were getting absolutely killed. I know their defense is good, and they've kind of done that to everybody, but Jesus, it was bad. I mean, the whole game, it just felt like this rock fight. Even the Seahawks were a little, both teams were a little bit conservative offensively. They were just waiting to win that game on defense. And at the end, it looked like the Patriots kind of figured something out too, because they were starting to throw the rock around a little bit. Like, I don't know why they weren't trying to. Maybe they were trying to run some of that same offense that they were in the second half, but it seemed like it was working towards the end. Like it felt like they had a little something. It was just way, way too late.
yeah, and I felt that way about Vrabel pretty early on. Like in the third quarter, there were times where I thought he should have gone for it on fourth down. Just seemed super conservative. I don't know if maybe he thought if he went for it on fourth down and didn't get it, the game was essentially over. So he didn't want to close that out. But yeah, didn't go for it on fourth down. So I thought he would. And then he scores and he doesn't go for two, which I get it. We're splitting hairs here, but at the same time, you not going for two just makes me feel like you've given up at this point. Like you
Yeah,
don't think you can win this game.
that was
So
bad.
that was weird to me. But the first half defensive battle, no points besides special teams points, and that's gonna be my winner of the week for this week. It's gonna be special teams because We look at Myers for the Seahawks. He leads the team in points. He has all of the entire first half points of the Super Bowl. There's stats coming out that he has more Super Bowl points than any Alabama player ever, and that or all of them combined actually. And now we add in the punter, and the punter had multiple punts that he downed within 5, 10 yards, and that's what this game came down to. And I got a stat for you, Joe. The team that spent the most money on special teamers this year was the Seattle Seahawks. They
Yeah.
invested more money into it than any other team. And when it came down to the Super Bowl and it was a defensive battle, special teams kind of felt like the difference maker.
Yep. No, special teams was great. I was looking at it pregame and I sent it to you. I was looking at O line as MVP or specialist. And specialist was plus 10,000. So I didn't pull the trigger pregame, but then during right before halftime, one of our buddies price texted us and say, I think Kenneth Walker is going to win MVP. So I was like, all right, I'll put that in. Great call by him. Put that one in. But then I saw Myers sitting around 1500 plus 1500 right there. So I put that one in too. And I thought I snuck one out. I thought he was going to win it. If he had hit like a 50-yarder, maybe one or two more field goals, I think they would have given it to him
It was for sure in the running. Did you bet that live or was that pre-match?
live. No, yeah. If I would
Live.
have got a
Okay.
pre-match, I would have cashed out because that would have
Yeah,
been great.
pre-match I think was like 100 to 1.
Yeah, it was plus 10,000. O line was less than specialist, which I found kind of crazy. I thought specialists would be the last, but I didn't, maybe kickers, but O line was like plus 12,500, which is insane.
I think you made a good bet. And then punting wise, I'm pulling up stats right now. Michael Dixon, 7 punts, 48-yard average, 3 downed within the 6-yard line, only returned to the entire game for a total of 4 yards. So
Yeah.
just a game of field position and getting points where you can get the points. And that's what it came down to. Drake May, eventually you kind of throw him into it. You're like, hey, we got to go hurry up and you got to throw the ball. You got to run the ball. Whatever you got to do, let's get yards. And like you said, it did work, right? We saw it kind of open up. You see that a lot too. When these teams go 2 minute, all of a sudden it feels like a completely different sport almost. But Drake does that. And also, when you go into that mode, you also get a little risky. You start
Yeah.
taking some chances, and we get a scoop and score earlier, but then late we get some interceptions and just turned out all bad. But the Seahawks, well deserved, right? Like this team totally deserved the Super Bowl. I don't think anybody questions that. It's the highest margin of victory by a Super Bowl winning team since like 1991. So all these stats are coming out just about how great this team is. And I just want to ask you, there's a lot of people last year that saw the Eagles Chiefs rematch and they said, God, we just want some other teams. We want somebody else. And then you fast forward to this year and there's people going, I don't know about this Super Bowl, right? Like, I don't know how good these teams
Where
are.
are the Chiefs? Where are the Eagles? That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah, like it's not so fun once it actually happens.
No, I think everybody wanted the Bills and Seahawks. I think that was the matchup that everybody was kind of hoping for. But it was fun to see if we're able to get there. And I think for bets, we talked about it a little bit, but you had the Kyle Williams call that was incredible. Great pick by you, Kyle Williams, to get a catch. Tailed that one, so thank you for that. Sharp as fuck by you. I had one. I was on both quarterbacks to throw one interception, and boy, was that close about 100 times with
Yeah.
Darnold. Like he should have had like 3 picks. So I thought that was a winner for sure, but it wasn't quite. And then the only other one I had that won was I put Ramondre Stevenson and Kenneth Walker to have some receptions. So overall for me, I don't know how you did. It sounded like you did a lot better than I did, but I made about $10. I bet way more than that. Made about $10. That's a good night. That's a night of free entertainment, is what that is.
Yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, if you go to a movie theater, you're losing at least $10.
Exactly. I was
And
still
you're only
paying to
getting
watch the
2
game.
hours. Right. Yeah, I had a good night. Somebody like me who likes to bet unders, I mean, I was a perfect game script for me. I took under in the full game. I took under on Sam Darnold passing yards. And then the Kyle Williams catch, that was a good hit. So I think the only things I lost on, I took Travion Henderson under 7.5 longest rush, which he did get like a 10-yard run at one point. And then I took Ramondre Stevenson first touchdown score.
Nah, yeah,
But sitting at halftime, I go, whoa, this is very alive. Like there has not been a touchdown yet. So
yeah,
we're still good.
yeah. The other one too was the coin toss, lost on tails. I told you that's usually how it goes. I usually don't have a great day if I lose that one and lost it right away. It was bullshit.
Yeah, you found out early. And it's kinda just that thing where it either gets you going or it makes you hungry,
Yeah.
right? If you lose that first one, you go, "Ah, we gotta get it back. I'm gonna place some more bets." And if you do get that first one, you go, "Oh, I'm playing with house money at this
Yep.
point."
Yep. The other thing too, we talked about Bad Bunny in the halftime. That was fun. But the Green Day before, where they brought out all the MVPs and then they had Green Day. I forgot Green Day rips. I like Green Day, and after listening to the couple songs, I was like, I gotta get back into them. They looked a little old, but that's all right.
God, you're such a lib. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Green
I
Day
guess
was great.
they kind of flipped. How they feel like it was kind
Yeah.
of like it wasn't really like that growing up, and then now it's yeah. Now every time you say you like some band or music artist, it's like Jesus, man. What can we do? You can't live. We can't live.
Can't live. No, I mean, they tell you this is fake, this is bad, this is fake, this is bad, and then you just get to a point where you're like, "What am I supposed to do right now? I can't do anything. It's all woke."
Yeah, I liked a couple Kid Rock songs too, but you can't say that either because then you're in the. It's like, yeah, where can I just
Yeah.
go listen to like some music?
I started singing some Kid Rock lyrics and people were getting on me. They were like, "Whoa, that's not appropriate."
Whoa,
And I'm like, "What are we doing?"
bow da bang da dang. That's a banger. Right? That was always a banger.
Banger. Banger, dude. And MAGA, they love their Detroit rappers, which
Yeah,
is what Kid Rock, that's how he
they
started.
don't
So
like Eminem though.
they do not, which is,
But
yeah,
it's like,
kind of
yeah,
interesting.
it's what are you gonna
I'm
do?
like, if you're going to pick a Detroit rapper, I think it's a pretty clear choice. How are we feeling about Drake May? I mean, he goes to the Super Bowl in his second season, loses, but there's been a track record of guys that get there in their second year. And you would think that means, oh, we have a bright future ahead of us. But when you look at the list, no quarterback that's ever made it in their second year has ever gotten back to the Super Bowl in their
Yeah,
career.
that's a crazy stat. I mean, I think he's still solid. They're gonna be solid. If anything, it's not about Drake May to me. It's about Vrabel and the defense. Like if they're gonna win one, I think it's the defense that carries them. But if they get a couple more guys on offense, I think they need like Mac Hollins is unbelievable, right? I think he was kind of wide receiver one, like him and
Led
Hunter
the
Henry.
game in yards.
Yeah, him and Henry were unbelievable. I didn't realize Hunter Henry was so old. They said that he's like in his eighth or ninth year last night. I thought he was like I'm an idiot, but I thought he was a younger guy. So they must have to backfill the tight end spot a little bit, but I feel like they're gonna be all right. The Patriots gonna be good for a while. They were like 15, 16 to 1 for next year's Super Bowl already. So people clearly think they might make it back. But yeah, it's a crazy stat. I saw that too.
That's actually a perfect segue, Joe. Is I was going to ask you at some point this show, but who would you take right now to win the Super Bowl next year? Because we did get the odds; they did come out, and the favorites are Seattle and LA, the Rams specifically.
Yeah, I mean the Rams are hard to bet against. After Stafford's MVP speech, he's coming back. I think it's going to be Seahawks Rams for a while there, and I don't know if Mahomes is coming back anytime soon. So I feel like it's going to be, I don't know on the other side. The other side I feel like doesn't matter for a little while. I think it's going to be Rams Seahawks trading off for a little while.
Whoa, whoa! I like the Bills. If I was
Yeah,
going to pick a team for next year, I'd probably take the Bills. Now that they get rid of their coach,
yeah, they're
they
known
bring in
from
Sean
bouncing back
Brady.
from heartbreak. They're pretty
Yeah,
good
right.
at that.
Hey, they're due. If I've learned anything, they're due. Let me take you through the Patriots' schedule next year because a big talk this year was the Patriots getting the 2 seed with a just an awful schedule. They really weren't beating any teams above 500. In fact, a lot of the teams they ended up beating fired their head coach during the season or as soon as the season ended. So next year, no particular order, but just jot down some wins and losses. Okay. First, at the Buffalo Bills, at the Chicago Bears, at the Detroit Lions, at the Kansas City Chiefs, at the Chargers. Okay. At the Dolphins, home Bills, home Dolphins, home Jets. Those are divisional games. Then home Denver Broncos, home Raiders, home Packers, Vikings. We get Jets, and then we get Jaguars, Steelers, Seahawks. So we're talking about a little bit of a gauntlet because the ones that stand out to you really are Seahawks, Jaguars, Broncos, Chiefs, Lions, Bears, Bills twice.
So just their whole schedule.
Yeah. You're like, oh, this is the AFC playoff bracket, and you just get to play them during the regular season.
Yeah, that might be an under on the win total next year for the Patriots. That could be tasty, especially if they juice it up.
Hey, please note that because that was already a thought in my head. I said, as soon as they release these totals, there's no way the Patriots are like undervalued on the under. Like, if anything, they're going to juice the over because they were just in the Super Bowl. I think we slam Patriots under for next year.
Yep, I like that. I like that.
The other stat I saw, just going back to how bad the Patriots were this offseason, or this postseason, their postseason points per drive was actually less efficient than the 0-16 Cleveland Browns, which we all remember the 0-16 Cleveland Browns. We had conversations about who would win in a game between the 0-16 Cleveland Browns and the Alabama Crimson Tide. It was one of the hottest debates on the internet. And I think for the most part, the internet came away saying, hey, these are NFL guys. They would fuck up Alabama and Nick Saban. But that team had a higher points per drive than the New England Patriots this postseason.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those weather games, as much as it hurt them, I think it helped them too because it just played to their team's strength a little bit. So I
It
don't
kind of
know.
masked it.
Yeah, yeah, but their defense is good. I mean, even that Super Bowl, like it was a blowout, but it wasn't like they got 45. Like the Chiefs looked way worse last year playing the Eagles with that. They didn't have that defense. So at least the Patriots, because the defense did all they fucking could last night. There was nothing really more that they could do. You can't expect them to hold the entire game, especially when your field position is basically, getting stopped at the 30 every drive. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It'll be I thought it was a fun year though. I thought it was a good year.
I thought it was a fun year too. And going back to the Patriots defense, Christian Gonzalez, absolute stud. Like,
Solid.
he only got targeted twice and he deflected both of them. That one that he jumped, though, it could have been a game changer because Darnold was taking a shot to the end zone. He threw it behind JSN, and Gonzo just jumped it so perfectly. He couldn't hang on to it, but you see it. I mean, he doesn't get targeted much, but when he does, he's still in position to make
Yeah.
these plays. What a special athlete. And then on the other side, Witherspoon for the Seahawks, he might be the best corner in all of football right now. Absolute freak. And that whole Seattle defense, they were just there were times where I would watch Drake May leave the pocket and all of a sudden he's got time. You're like, okay, the O-line's not blocking great, but he left and now he's set up. He's got time. And he would look downfield for 5 seconds and nobody's open. Nobody's open. And eventually he tucks it for like a 4-yard gain. But that was kind of how the game went. Even if they weren't getting pressure, they weren't allowing anything downfield.
Yeah.
It's just a special defense.
They're unbelievable. They really are. Yeah, they were crazy the whole time. Their defensive line is disgusting. Like every play. I mean, I don't know if the Patriots O line was that bad, but I think it was a combo of both. But yeah, best defense in history, right? And the dark side, they're back. The Seattle defense. I'm scared of Seattle for the coming future. I really think they could go on a run here. Could be the start of something.
Are you sold on Darnold? Like, if that game came down to a 2-minute drill, tie game, yeah?
He's not gonna like do anything crazy ever, but it just feels like he's really not making that many mistakes. He'll have a game or two where he fucks up, but it's not like he's making the right plays and he seems really comfortable. He's a goober. He's a goober and a half. Like his speech afterwards was was not, inspiring. I thought it was it was like I was listening to, I don't know what it was, but it didn't get me fired up at all after listening to him. But I think that's kind of good because he's kind of robotic. He's been through it. I think he's all about business right now. I think he's coming for some chips.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, and what I liked about his deep balls because he's not afraid to take shots. He throws it downfield. He pushes the ball downfield, which I appreciate because it's a scary thing to do. I mean, that's where turnovers come from. But the thing about him is a lot of those deep balls he threw, I felt like they were never in range of getting picked off. It
No.
was either Shahid's going to catch up to this ball or it's gonna be an incompletion, but
Yeah.
as far as a turnover, it's just not happening. I thought he played great. I thought he took chances when he needed to, and it's so crazy to see where he started to where he is now. I mean, there's those tweets about if you were in a coma 3 years ago, and I told you Sam Darnold just won Super Bowl, back-to-back 14-win seasons, you would just think we're crazy, and this
USC
is real
quarterbacks
life.
1-0 in the Super Bowl too. USC 1-0 Super Bowl
So
starts
that was
and
the
wins.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unreal. And today there's clips coming out. He's sitting on the teapots with Kenneth Walker at Disneyland. So Super Bowl in San Francisco, they just go straight to Disneyland the next morning. And Kenneth Walker, MVP. You said it earlier. Our friend Price, he gave it out as a live play. Joe Tail, Joe hits. So Kenneth Walker didn't score a touchdown though. Minus 190 anytime touchdown score. And he had that one, he broke it off and it was gone. It was clear space. It gets called back for holding. Just tough. And I had a friend that was at a sports book watching the game. He said there was a guy that definitely had Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown for a lot of money, and he sat there with his hands in his head for he said over 5 minutes. He said the guy didn't move.
It was just over. I watched Kenneth Walker when he was at Michigan State. I went to the Michigan State Michigan game in East Lansing, and I watched Kenneth Walker score 5 touchdowns in that game. So I've known about K9 for a while, and he's a fucking dog. He's also gonna get paid.
Yeah, gonna get paid. And I think like the biggest problem I had with him coming out of college, because I did love him at Michigan State. I remember him just tearing people up, was that he was so much of a straight line runner. He doesn't do a lot of wiggle. He's not gonna make you miss. If you get him in the backfield, you probably got him. But when he hits a hole, when he does get that space, he just puts his head down and it's all motion forward. Good luck stopping it.
Yeah, yeah, he was special last night.
Yeah, and really, you didn't have anybody to give the MVP to. There was nothing that stood out. JSN kind of got shut down. He dealt with injuries the whole game. That was another huge storyline. One that we didn't hit on yet, one of my favorite moments of the game, and I don't even know how many people even know about this, but we did get a streaker
Yeah,
at the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Okay. We did. And they didn't show it on the broadcast, so you didn't get to see the streaker. Oh, boo hoo. I know what you were looking for. All right. You didn't get to see it. But Kyle Williams made the tackle.
Yep.
A clip came out. They showed from the stand, somebody filmed the streaker, and our boy Kyle Williams staved America on Super Bowl Sunday. He takes down the streaker.
Yeah. Mike Tirico on the broadcast just kept saying there's a rocket scientist that's run across the field. That was a good one. Yeah, no, they showed the clip though, like very quickly. I think I saw it on Twitter maybe, but maybe it was on the broadcast very quickly of Kyle Williams hawking him down. No idea what he was doing. It was like a 40-yard tackle. He had no reason to go do that, but he just saw his moment and jumped on it.
He barely touched the guy too. I think
I don't.
more than anything, he just scared the guy. The guy was
Yeah,
like, "Whoa!" and just fell down. But we'll take it. We count it as a tackle.
yeah.
Cash your overs over a half tackle for Kyle Williams, plus 5,000. But overall, how would you rank this football season? I mean, now that it's all said and done, college and NFL, combine the two. I saw if you put $100 preseason on Seattle and Indiana to both win the championships, you would have made over $250,000.
Yeah, I gotta start getting better at my futures. I I put a few in and none of them. I guess the Rams got close.
Scratch that, Joe. $500,000. I believe it was in the sixes. Yeah.
Disgusting. Yeah, disgusting. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun. I thought college was especially fun with the new blood that we got in the playoffs. And then I thought the NFL playoffs were fun too. I know it wasn't, the superstars necessarily that were carrying into the late rounds. You didn't get any like marquee quarterback necessarily. Matthew Stafford was there late, but kind of some injuries on the other teams, and Josh Allen gets knocked out early. So I felt like it was kind of a starless playoffs in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it felt like more about the teams, the defenses for, especially on the Patriots road. It was all about defense. The Texans, like Broncos, everybody kind of had a really nasty defense this year, and I wonder if you're starting to see that shift again of defense heavy teams that are able to win. It's been a while since we've seen that. The plays always shifted since Mahomes got in the league, where it's like you got to spread it out, you got to throw the ball, and you got to score, but it feels like it's coming back a little bit, and defense is starting to win championships again.
I feel like that's how all football will always go. It's always the ebbs and flows. Every time we catch on to a new trend, the other side of the ball has to figure out how to counter that. And once they counter it, that becomes the new meta. And we're just constantly just chasing each other's tails. And I think everybody roots for new blood. And this year, for both college and NFL, we got new blood. So, how could you complain? And we hope that this continues in both sports because it's better for the sports. It's better when we're getting these new matchups every time and we have parity across the sport.
Yeah. Overall, 8.4, 8.4 for me on
Eight.
a combined score.
Whoa, that's probably higher than I was thinking, but it's a good score. I was going to be way lower, like 8-2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. The college gives me the extra point. I thought the college season was unbelievable just because
College was awesome.
it was so new. The NFL is great too, and you get new guys, but you get some new old guys with Sam Darnold and whatever. But it's like seeing Indiana and some of these other schools. Like I never would have thought it. Seahawks have been there before. They've won. Oh yeah, the Seahawks too, going up for sale. I mean, what's the number on that one? I'm going north of $9 billion. I think they're going to sell for.
No, that much?
They said $9-10 billion is potentially the number that's going to be tossed out there.
The Cowboys, like 10 years ago, were the most expensive American
Inflation.
franchise, and it was like
Inflation.
five bill, like 10 years ago.
Inflation, man. And they just won a
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Joe, you're a finance guy. Who's looking to buy a team like this? Is that
I mean,
Bezos?
that'd be sick. Bezos. I'd like Bezos. That'd be cool. It's got
I
to
feel
be
like
some
that makes
Seattle.
sense, right?
Yeah.
Seattle?
I'd love to see Bill Gates step into the limelight. He hasn't really been talked about too much recently, so I feel like he's looking to get back in the throw his hat in the ring. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of money in Seattle, especially with some tech money.
Starbucks?
I want like a young, a flamboyant guy, or lady, someone that just fucking stirs stuff up, That's what I want. But it seems like Seattle's kind of the opposite of that. The Seahawks have been a classy organization. They've got a good fan base, but I want somebody to come in and just throw their weight around a little bit. Elon, that'd be sick. Elon just randomly buys a team.
God, that would be nuts.
Yeah.
Rebrand the team. They'd be the aliens.
They'd have robots playing for the team pretty soon.
That would be fun. I would like to see the early seasons of that where the robots are not ready. And
Yeah, just gets smashed.
They're getting lit up across the middle. Like Fred Warner is just lighting up some robot. 20 years in advance wouldn't be as fun. They would just be dominating.
Yeah.
But the early days, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but no, I think it's gonna my official call on the sale price. I'm gonna say $9.1 billion.
All right, over under 9.1. I'll take the under. All
right.
Under. We'll do it here. Lime challenge something. We'll do it here. Well, the Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl champion, the first ever playoff team to not commit a turnover the entire playoffs. And I think that's what made it so special for me for both college football and NFL was that neither champion, despite being new blood, neither champion felt fluky. not one bit. So props to the Seahawks, props to Indiana football. But Joe, that ends our football season. That ends our Super Bowl recap for the year. And we appreciate everybody coming out and listening to the episode. And now it's time to turn our sights to Olympics, basketball, golf, UFC, all the other great sports that we have to offer. And football, we'll be counting down the days, man. We'll be counting down till August till we get football back. I cannot wait. But until then, we will have you covered on literally everything sports until football gets back.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Adios.